Brave Podcast Network. Tell me the story of your success as a single mom. Maybe write it down.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you don't have anybody to tell it to, write it down. Write a story about when it happened.
Welcome to Brave Single Moms, where we inspire you to live a strong and courageous life. I'm one of the hosts. I'm Amanda Carroll, and I want to give you a free gift. It's my Successful Single Mom Playbook, Top 10 Essential Strategies, free ebook. Download it. I'll put the link in the show notes. My co-host, Sarah Lowater, is a personal trainer. She knows exactly what to order whenever you have to go to fast food with the kids, and she put it all down for you in a free download. Check it out. The link's in the show notes. Now let's get to the show. So you're living in a state of constant, chronic stress as a single mom. I get it. How do you stop? We're going to teach you a little magic trick, and it's more than magic, about how instead of focusing on, oh no, what if everything goes wrong, a step-by-step plan to change your mindset and focus on, but what if everything goes right? I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Peace Over Stress as a Single Mom. We're so glad you're here. I'm Amanda Carroll. I am a fellow single mom, just like you.
And I am Sarah Lowater, and here to help you find some peace in this stressful, crazy single motherhood. We are here with you and for you.
It is possible. Being a single mom is so hard. You just feel overwhelmed. You're stressed out. You're frustrated. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I felt like, am I ever going to make it?
Yeah. Am I ever going to achieve the things that I can imagine or want? Or is it this uphill battle?
Or I've even felt ruined.
Yeah.
But we want to help unlock a secret in your life to act as if you have already made it. You are a successful single mom. We're going to teach you how to do that, hopefully inspire you and bring you hope in this episode. It's very powerful, and I'm so glad you're here. Wish you were actually in our kitchen. Sarah and I are sitting in my kitchen right now. We've got a cup of coffee. I actually made a fire in the fireplace because we're getting all cozy for this episode.
It's a little chilly outside today.
It is. For California. It's like 60 degrees. So
okay, California cold.
But so Sarah walked in the door to record the podcast today, and we usually are sitting in my studio, and I was actually meditating when she arrived. And I just had this moment of, working towards, in my meditation, acting as if all of my dreams are already happening. And there's a lot of power to that. It is scientific that this works in your life. And I really want you to overcome the constant stress, because the constant stress on a single mom, it's chronic stress. It will cause drastic health problems in our lives later. And we have to find ways to conquer those stressful feelings.
Well, and to remember that stress is really, like, those stressful feelings are really coming from a place of constant want and desire for things to work out a certain way, or to have something that maybe you don't already have, or to feel like your goals are far away, and this like constant chase, this pursuit of achieving the things that you want creates this level of stress, because your wanting is attached to not having. It's not attached to creating. What's attached to creating is being the person who's already accomplished it. That's creation.
Yeah.
Waking up today, and instead of saying, I wish I had X, Y, and Z, say, what would it be like to be the person who did already have that? What would that feel like? How would I act differently? How would I show up differently if the things that I wanted were actually already here? Because the reality is they are. Time just hasn't caught up yet.
Yes, I love that. And instead of existing as this stressful, overwhelmed single mom around your kids, what if they saw you as content and confident and acting as if all these things that you want, is already happening to you.
I shared a story with Amanda this morning about my daughter and Christmas and this eye-opening revelation that she had through this exercise, and I'll share it with you guys here now. She wanted to buy her friends Christmas gifts, and December was a little bit of a tight month financially for us, and so buying her friends Christmas gifts was not high up on my list. And so I instead took her through an exercise, and I said, what would you want to get them? We're gonna go do this exercise, and I want you to tell me what you want to get them. And she explained what she would want to get them, and I said, okay, when would you give it to them? And she said, when school gets back in. And I said, tell me exactly what I want you to tell me the story of when you gave them their Christmas gifts.
Ooh,
what did you get them? How did you wrap it? What were their reactions? How did it make you feel? Tell me the story of when it happened as if it already happened. Humor me. Tell me this story. And my goal was to get her to viscerally, physically feel the emotion in her body of having accomplished this thing. And so then at the end of it, I said, okay, now just trust. Now I just want you to do me a favor and just trust that is exactly what is going to happen. And she's like, yeah, but I don't have the money. I'm like, no. No. We don't get to know how it happens. We just know that it does. And I'll tell you guys, 2 days before school starts, she's cleaning her room and she finds 2 Old Navy gift cards from her birthday the year before that she had never spent. And she's so excited. And she's like, can we go and buy my friends these gifts? She got them exactly what she said she was going to get them. On our way to school 2 days later, she looks at me and she goes, I can't believe that worked. And I told her, I said, how do you think I pay rent every month?
Right. How do you think I survive and get through day to day with all of this?
Yeah, I just trust that it's all going to work out. And when I find myself feeling this level of stress because what if it doesn't, or how is it going to work out, or this need to control the how, I stop. I find that awareness in the fact that I'm doing that to myself. And I choose to say, I trust it is all going to work out. And I believe it because it already has. It's all going to be fine because it's already fine. And everything works itself out. And guess what? I pay my bills every month. I don't, sometimes as an entrepreneur, I know. Like, we don't always know when our next paycheck's going to be. Right. We don't always know how much it's going to be. So sometimes you just got to lean into trust and say, it will be there when it needs to be. And it works.
And you develop a habit of doing that, because once you try it once, like Lily, once we're teaching our children how to do this by modeling it, you develop a habit. You're like, well, if it worked back then when I wanted to buy those Christmas gifts, then I can do it again when I need to pay that mortgage, or when I want to be able to save a down payment for a house, because you have a history of manifestation. Is what this is. Yeah. And teaching your kids. I'm doing something very similar with my daughter, Zoe. So Zoe wants to go on point. The ballet shoes where I don't know why she wants that. Sounds awful to me, but it's amazing and it looks so beautiful. She's a great dancer. And she's told her ballet teacher, and her ballet teacher says, okay, you need to improve your posture. She's 12 years old. She's close to doing it. She's got all the skills. She's in the right class. She's been training since she was 3 years old in ballet. She's like, I want to go on point. So I said, well, let's go get you the shoes. And she's like, well, no, I think you have to wait until your teacher says. It's like, yeah, I know, but in our family, we do things a little bit differently. And we're like, you're already on point because it's going to happen. It's just, we're preparing and we're getting ready to go get the shoes.
Time just hasn't caught up yet.
I didn't realize how much they cost. Now I do. Unfortunately, it was $200. I was like, oh, okay. But I just I was like, okay, that's fine. Mommy doesn't need new shoes, but we'll buy you these point shoes. And we went through the process. We went down to the ballet store. We live in the Sacramento area, in downtown Sacramento. It was a really nice store. Sat with a woman, had an appointment, got size, try them out. Like, it was a big deal. Yeah. More than I expected to get fit for point shoes. And she came home and she was so excited. And I guess you have to sew the ribbons on yourselves. They come with a sewing kit. And she sat down and she sewed on the ribbons on her own. And she wore and danced in those point shoes all afternoon because she's on point.
She's already happened.
And I fully expect, and I really hope that she gets to see the evidence that this pays off, that this week or the next month, her teacher will say, okay, you're ready. And she'll be like, look, I'm ready. Right? I've already done it.
Well, you got to think, like, what's the alternative, right? What's the alternative to living in a space of creation? It's living in a space of stress and scarcity.
Yeah, no thanks.
Right?
Yeah,
and so if you've got two choices here, we can trust that everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And hey, worst case scenario, it always works out, guys.
It does.
But worst case scenario, it doesn't work out the way you thought it would, or it works out differently, or
Right.
maybe it's more difficult than you imagined. Cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah.
And from A to Z, just choose to live in a space of trust, because when you live in a space of stress and scarcity, you vibrate in that frequency. And in that frequency, you're not creating. That's not a frequency of creation. It's a frequency of scarcity. It's a frequency of overwhelm. And you're not showing up as the best version of yourself because you're freaking stressed out.
Yeah.
But if you can choose to say, it's going to work out. I trust, and I don't need to know how. The how is not for me to figure out. I just know that it will. And hey, not only it will, it already has.
Yes. So how can we use this with our single mom life? Instead of living in stress constantly, causing chronic health problems.
So much. Yeah.
For our lives, and probably weight gain and all of these things that we don't want in our lives. So I like how you said that exercise you went through with your daughter, Lily, is tell me the story of your success as a single mom. Maybe write it down.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you don't have anybody to tell it to, write it down. Write a story about when it happened. Write a story about when you got the promotion, or when you got the job, or when you bought the house. When you bought the house, or when you bought the new car, or when you got a car, or you tell me the story about how it all worked out, and let yourself feel that in your body. Let yourself feel that success physically. Let yourself feel the knot in your throat because you're so happy you could cry, and the goosebumps because you can't believe this is your reality. And let yourself feel the peace that comes with having accomplished this thing, because you already have. It's already there. It doesn't creation doesn't come from wanting, it comes from knowing.
Yes, I wrote this down in my journal this morning. You must make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled.
Yes.
Somebody else's quote, not mine.
It's beautiful.
You must make your future dream a present fact.
Because it is.
For a long time, I was driving a beat up Honda Odyssey minivan. And it was paid for. So I just drove it forever. And it didn't have air conditioning for a while. And also the radio didn't work. And I worked on the radio. I found that very ironic.
And your radio didn't work.
It was a piece of junk, but I just kept driving it because I think I was captive to this single mom scarcity mindset. And I started capturing this concept of manifesting several years ago. And I started driving that car, and I'd get in the car and I'd be like, guys, isn't our new Lincoln Navigator so nice?
So nice.
I know. Like, they would start to get into it and joke about it too. They're like, I know, Mom, we're so glad to have this air conditioning. Makes us so cold in the Sacramento hot summer. I'm like, I know, isn't it nice? And the sound system, Mom, in this car.
What I love so much about this is the alternative would be like, oh, I'm so hot. I wish I could have a new car. I don't want to be in this car. This sucks so bad. And that's not smiley. That's not fun. That's not laughter. But this game you're playing, I love it. I love it.
We can make it a game in our everyday lives. Like, make it a game. Because my dream is for single moms to go around feeling so terrible about their lives.
No.
But to make it just this amazing, beautiful journey and celebration of potential. Speak life and possibility out of your mouth every single day and around your children.
the thing is being a single mom can be hard. There are things that are really hard about it. It's not easy. I've been a single mom for 10 years and it's not easy. But we get to choose peace. And when we choose peace over stress, when we choose creation over scarcity, we show up differently for our kids. Our relationship with our kids is different. Our relationship to work is different. You sleep better. And peace really does get to be a choice by letting go of the need to control how you get from point A to point B and just trust that you've already arrived at point B.
Yeah. You're there. It's happening. So I want you to, maybe here's a little assignment. Can we give an assignment? I hate to give single moms one more thing to do. Okay, yeah. I hate to give you one more thing to do. But if this is stirring in your soul and you're getting goosebumps and you are sick and tired of living in stress, get out your journal, girl. Get out your journal and tell me a story. Mm-hmm. Write your story as a successful single mom. And I do not want you to hold anything back. Like, I've got some big goals too. When Sarah told me this story about Lily, her daughter, I thought, well, I'm going to tell you how successful my business is.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how much money I'm making every single month. And it seems insane, but I'm not going to. No. I want you to think as big as humanly possible. Because when you act as if, when you make your future dream a present fact, it happens. And I believe in prayer. I don't know, whatever your faith journey is, it's part of my prayer life is believing that my prayers are already answered.
Yeah.
That's changed everything.
Hey, and if you want to take it a step further in that journal, another thing that I really love to do, and I do this probably once a month or so, is I write myself a letter from my future self. So be the person who's already accomplished the goal, the thing that you're looking for, embody that, and then write yourself a letter. Write your past self a letter from the future.
You told me to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, a long time ago. I love that. Yeah. And I remember I wrote in that letter, I've done this, and I wrote, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Amanda, for sticking to your goals and getting to the gym and being really fit and eating well and healthy, because I'm just really grateful that you set us up for right now, for experiencing this right now.
Yeah. Write your past self a letter from the future you that has already achieved your goals. This is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to put you in that space of creation because you get to feel what it feels like to have walked the journey, to not only have achieved the goals, but to have come from where you are now to end up to where you're going to be. And not only is it going to do that, but it's also going to help you with personal forgiveness and compassion. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up in the present moment for having not achieved the thing we want. And that causes stress, the shame and the frustration and the irritation with ourselves for having not arrived yet feeds that stress. So when you write yourself this letter from the future, you have compassion for yourself, love for yourself. You get to be proud of the fact that you're getting up and you're doing the things and you're making it happen. And that personal forgiveness and compassion will allow you to let go of the stress and step into the creation.
That's beautiful. And if you are really gutsy enough, man, I'd love to hear your letter or to see your letter. Wouldn't that be incredible?
I would love that.
Like, we would honor that. If you want, you can call. I'll put the phone number to the show in the show notes. You can call, just look in the show notes. I'll put a link to our email where you can email it if you want it. Maybe that's even your process of writing, is typing out the email to us of telling your success story.
Absolutely.
And print that out and have that. I would cover my walls with your inspiring stories. I really would. Wouldn't that be so cool?
It makes me teary-eyed even imagining it, because this is truly and I know that I can speak for both Amanda and myself, the work that sets our soul on fire. We are where you are, single moms. Yes. This journey is hard, and so much of the time we feel so alone in it. And it is our life's work to make sure you're not alone in it, to know that you are seen and heard, and we want to hear from you. I will say that, and we'll put this in the show notes as well, there's a book that I recommend if you're a reader. It's called Into the Magic Shop, and it's a book about manifestation. It's a fast read.
I listened to it because Sarah made me. It's amazing.
It's amazing. So and I'll quickly go through the premise of this book. This neurosurgeon, as a child, goes into a magic shop, and the woman in the magic shop is like, hey, I don't know much about these magic tricks, but I can teach you how to make everything you've ever wished for come true. Come back to this shop every day for the rest of the summer, and I'll teach you. And she teaches him the art of manifestation. But what's beautiful about this is he tells his story, and this is a true story. So he's telling his own personal story. He tells his story of how she taught him this, but because he was just a child when she taught him, when in his retelling of the story, it's told in a way that even a child can understand it. So if you're new to this art of manifestation, if you're new to stepping out of the stress and into the creation, and this is something you're going to be trying for the first time, maybe, this book explains a lot of what we've talked about here in terms that are so easy to grasp and understand. And it's a captivating story because it's a true story and it's his own really personal story. I read it in one day. It's a captivating story. So we'll put that in the show notes too. If you're a reader and you want to dive more into this, I highly recommend that book.
Into the Magic Shop. Or if you're like me, listen to it while you're at the gym.
Cardio and audiobooks. That was my favorite.
That's what I did. So I want to finish out this episode with what you read to me today when you showed up to record the podcast. I think it's very powerful because I don't know how God does this. I feel like he just constantly, when she walked in, I was like, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing this whole thing of making my future dream a present reality. She goes, I just read this.
So there, I read
all these themes together.
Yeah, I read a post on Instagram this morning from the influencer's name is Charlie Rocket.
Okay.
And he said, how I create and attract my dreams and goals, a step-by-step guide.
Ooh.
Step 1, I write for my dreams and goals in my Quantum Possibilities notebook, so the journal, right? The root origin of the word abracadabra means as I speak, I create. So I speak my dreams each morning. Step 2, when I'm writing my dreams down, I look at my pen and I say, this isn't a pen, this is a magic wand. It sounds crazy, but when I believe in magic, I get magic. Step 3, I tell myself the magic words once I'm done writing. It's already done, time just hasn't caught up yet. Step 4, I say a prayer, but I don't ask God for these things. Instead, I thank Him for making them already mine. Asking means I don't have it, when in reality, these dreams and goals are already mine. Time just moves slow, so I thank God for giving them to me. Step 5, I get rid of anything that blocks my quantum frequency from reaching far. In quantum physics, it says we are all energy and we are all connected. So I want full bars on my reception. So I get rid of any negative people. I eat only high frequency foods. I don't watch any bad news or gossip TV. Some of these things are like being in an elevator, blocking your signal. I want full bars. Step 6, I believe in the law of action as much as I believe in the law of attraction. So I show up and give my best because I know that strengthens my signal and shows God I'm ready. When you put action with attraction and belief, you get 1 + 1 = 1,000.
I love it. All right. Tell us your story of how successful your single mom life is. You're such a good mom. I mean, look at you listening to a podcast to become an even better single mom than you already are. We are so glad you're here, brave single mom, and we'd love to connect with you. If you'd like more information about Sarah, she can train you to become a superhero with your fitness and your food. She'll get you all dialed in. Check her link in the show notes. And I would love to empower you as a brave single mom. I have a free gift for you. It's called the Successful Single Mom Playbook, my top 10 essentials that you need to know. It's a free ebook, a gift just for you. Check the link in the show notes.